The topic of my presentation today is overcoming poverty in America. In America, we must take a strong stance against poverty and its causational factors, particularly as it relates to the rising rates of homelessness across the country and in America. Homelessness, it knows no boundaries. It is a condition whereby poverty exists that knows no age, no color, no group, no ethnic background. Homelessness also affects many individuals, no particular culture. It goes across cultures. It affects adolescents who are displaced, veterans who are released from the war and come back home, women and men who are in jail and released from prison, individuals and families who are affected by financial disparities, individuals suffering from addictions, individuals suffering from mental health. Hence, we live in a Judaic-Christian society. This structure allows us to focus in to establish a standard as to how we can treat individuals within our society, particularly the poor. If we take a theological stance from source scripture for the poor and weak, we find that the question, what will Jesus' response be to the homelessness in America and the disenfranchised in America? In this 21st century, we must look at his response to the social and political climates of the day to prevent the growing numbers of homelessness in America. The symbolism of the cross and resurrection means that we know that in Jesus' ministry, he dealt particularly with the poor and the weak, and he worked towards liberation of those individuals who are oppressed. In this dealing with poverty, we must not take a passive response, but we must take an active role in the elimination of this deadly disease. And I call it a disease because one of the things is that individuals cannot just do it by themselves. You know, one of the causational factors that deals with poverty deals with poor housing, poor education, as well as substance abuse issues, mental health issues, poor finances. And the key is, how do we break into that area? One of the things is, in relation to treatment, we would like to provide individuals with not only transitional housing, but with treatment. In the Jesus response, it repels us to have a consciousness to be Christians. Therefore, in my response, I would like to open one transitional house for men and one transitional house for women, for a total of 12 individuals, to help individuals transition from homelessness to having a secure place to stay, with the goal of one day having home ownership. As a private citizen, this is a big, tall order. And I request donations for my 501(c) organization called the ARC Motivational Treatment Program. This program is a nonprofit program and can receive private donations. Therefore, one of the things is that my goal is to open these two homes in January 2013. I have a goal and commitment to service the poor. And I'm looking to work towards individuals who are financially keen and focusing in towards working towards helping these individuals. Again, this is a tall order just for one private citizen, but my goal is to work with the poor and for the poor. I can be reached at 786-925-6066. The social context of theology is not only exist in language as human beings with certain political and social interests. It is also implied in the nature of divine revelation. The God of the Bible is involved in history. God revelation is inseparable from the social and political affairs of Israel. Theology, therefore, is interested in speech not simply because theologians are creatures of time, but because Yahweh, the God of the Exodus and Jesus Christ, is the subject of the discourse. And when we look particular at the meaning that he brought one of being kind, he brought one of being liberative, and particularly he was concerned with the poor. Our God in history is a political God, the protector of the poor and the establisher of the right of those who are oppressed. To know God is to experience the act of God in concrete affairs and relationship, liberating the weak and helpless from pain and humiliation. When we look at the homelessness, these are individuals who have no political voices. These are individuals whose existence has become, disenfranchised and out of, American mainstream. Therefore, individuals can proceed and go forward to the next generation, affecting their children and affecting the dysfunctional life in the present social situation context in which they live. So one of the key things that my program would like to do at the ARC Motivational Recovery Program is to help individuals get motivated and develop that confidence and develop that I can do attitude, that I can change and I can work to eliminate homelessness that's affecting me in the here and now. Therefore, this is why I feel that it can be done, and individuals who may be financial contributors can really play a role in asking that question: what will be Jesus' response through your conscious developments in your response to the situation? One of the things is that we find that these individuals are in need of a deliverance and humility through social and political efforts on their behalf or their existence. Therefore, advocacy must be planned to help them to secure permanent housing and treatment for the homeless with their multi-complex social, personal, psychological, and human situational problems. This is not an easy task. The treatment aspect in terms of working with these particular individuals relate towards the social context of many have mental health problems, many may have substance abuse problems, many may have poor levels of education. But the transitional housing can offer them hope so that they can focus in towards moving towards a better plane in life. This is where the 5013C corporation can be most inspirational. Is registered and licensed with the state of Florida. It is, basically in terms of my brochures are very directed towards the type of services that we will provide: individual counseling, group counseling, motivational sessions, individual business opportunities, as well as day-to-day treatment for these individuals. So one of the things is that we are individuals that are very professional, that can handle the populations that we're dealing with. I have a doctoral in ministry. Presently, I'm at St. Thomas working with the Family and Marriage Certificate with goals of doctoral in theology. And one of the things is that professionalism, we're prepared. The locations for the places, we are prepared. Also, in terms of personal motivation, I am prepared. Also, we need to get prepared in terms of the financial outreach that these type programs need. Again, one citizen cannot handle it on their own, but I have a desire and heart to work with the poor as I've done for the last 30 years, and this is just an extension of the work that I've already done in the area. Also, I have a master's in counseling and mental health that can be very beneficial in working with this population. So again, my name is Dr. Anthony. I can be reached at 786-925-6066, and I look forward to a great community response towards financial outreach to help the poor in getting these 2 homes started. Thank you very much.